Welcome back to episode 25 of Excuse Me, I'm Speaking. This podcast is brought to you by your favorite host, the one that does the most. She is Twinkle, call me Antoinette. It doesn't matter. As long as you're calling my name, that's all that matters to me. This is a very, very, very special podcast episode today because for one, it is episode 25, so that is a milestone, but it is even more so important for me to celebrate 25 with a bang by coming out with my first video podcast. Yeah, I was procrastinating like a mug, and I said, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. And I would always come up with an excuse. And now I am on here, I'm back like I never left. I'm saying I'm back because check my resume, y'all. I was on YouTube for years, and this will be getting uploaded to YouTube. And you should be able to see my video podcast on Spotify as well. But anywho, yeah, enough about me. I have said all my introductions. Y'all know by the title why we're here. Without further ado, let's talk about this brawl in Alabama. So, a lot of stories have come out. If you have not gotten a chance, you're a little behind, and I'm going to give you a second to press pause and go and look at the video. Now, I know that people have been talking about this for days, but just yesterday, there was a press conference that the mayor and the chief of police in Montgomery, Alabama, they did, in laying out all of the actual details that we didn't know about. So I have some extra details I can share with y'all now, but I got to tell it like how we tell it as Black people. Okay, so boom. That's how we start stories, right? Okay, so boom. The video starts with a Black man with a white shirt on, black pants, and he had on a black hat. It started with him, and there's some backstory that he was trying to get this private boat, which was, I guess, called a platoon or something like that. It's a type of boat. These white people, family of white people, they parked their private boat in a spot where it's reserved for like the riverfront boats. So he was kindly asking them to move their boat. They didn't want to move it. It was all types of problems. Now, on social media, a lot of people assume that the Black man in question was a security guard. Oh, no, baby. No, let's not do him like that. According to the chief of police, he was the co-captain of the ship that was trying to actually park in that spot. Let's get the facts straight. So apparently, the captain of the ship kept trying to call that family over the intercom and ask them to move their boat. They would not move their boat. They were like yelling out all types of like obscene comments, and they were being as difficult as possible, and they were being entitled, and they were like, we're not moving. So then all of a sudden, we have the co-captain who is picked up by a second boat, like a smaller boat. He picks him up to take him over to the dock so that he can calmly do his job and talk to the people and convince them to try to move their boat. They still wasn't having it. Next thing you know, I don't know, I'm sure alcohol was involved, but one of the white men got involved and he jumps off the boat and he goes to start swinging. So, when you have a fight and it's one-on-one, it's like, all right, first of all, I don't know why you're fighting because the man is doing his job. He's not being difficult or disrespectful, whatever, but cool. One-on-one, y'all do y'all thing until the police show up, right? But then when it becomes 5 or 6 on one, then it's a problem. And then all of a sudden you see all these other white people and they're jumping on top of this Black man. They are like kicking him, punching him, pushing him around like he trying, but it's like getting hard. Like he was holding his own with one person, but then when they start jumping them, it's frustrating. Now, mind you, this Harriet boat had 227 passengers on board that were watching the entire thing. Now, a lot of these passengers were Black. So once the boat gets close enough, they have watched everything go down. Now, all of a sudden, the white people, some of them start getting back in the boat like they didn't do nothing. And one of the white men is still trying to swing on him. So at this point, the Black man gets mad, the co-captain. He like, I'm sick of y'all. So he is trying to fight and defend himself, but he take a step back and he has on his black hat and he threw his hat off and threw it in the air. He threw it in the air and it was like a signal for all black people around. Like, I don't know, it wasn't something we talked about like in our community meetings or anything like that, but black people just knew like, oh, that means he need help. It was more like the bat signal, but it was like the black signal, right? So a lot of people have already been watching this from afar, so they're getting mad. They don't see no police around, no nothing. So when the boat gets close enough, people start jumping to the fight. In the meantime, there is a 16-year-old. He was on a different boat. He jumped off his boat and swam over to the fight when he saw that this black man was getting jumped by all of these people. I've seen people walk to a fight. I didn't see people kind of have a little skip to a fight. Like, yeah, like I got a little pep in my step because I'm ready. This ain't even a challenge. This is about to be fun. But I've never seen anybody swim to a fight. Like, the amount of dedication you have to swim to a fight and get out the water and actually start fighting. Wow. I commend you. Oh my gosh. Like, you was like, I got your back. 10 toes down, 1,000%. They called him Aquaman. Not Aquaman, Aquaman. Like Gucci Mane. Y'all with me? All right. So I got names though. His name is actually Aaron Rudolph, I believe. Now, this co-captain that we thought was a security guard, but he was actually the co-captain, his name is Damian Pickett. So then all these other black dudes, they finally get close enough, they get off the boat and they come and they jump in the fight. They like, nah, we just watched you beat him up. Like, they showed up like, what's up? And then the white family on the boat was like, oh, y'all still want to go? Y'all want to go? Oh, all right. So then a fight breaks out. It literally looks like a race war. Meanwhile, one of the white boys that was there, the 16-year-old that actually drove the co-captain over to the boat dock so that he could talk to them. Now, if I was him, I probably would have dipped when the other black people started coming, because at this point, they don't know that like you work for the company too and that you were helping the co-captain. They just see that you a different color and everybody else is your color. They want the smoke. So the person that shouldn't have came to this fight, any white people that wanted to help in this fight, like, this probably wasn't the time, because you got to wear like a badge or a sticker or something, or we don't know. Okay, it's a fight. Nobody's thinking. Speaking of nobody thinking, women start jumping into the fight, because when the white women jumped in, then the black women was like, oh, no, no, no. Because our men gonna get in trouble if they hit you, even though you hitting them. So now we about to come down here and we gonna have they back, right? Now, the icing on the cake was the black man that jumped in the fight. The man with the folding chair, people on social media are calling him Uncle Chair or the chairman. Yeah, he came like swinging, like bat, bat, bat. It was crazy. This all started at 7 o'clock. The captain is actually the one that called the police officers to let them know there's a disturbance at the dock. The police actually got to the scene to break it up at 7:18. So this went on for a very long time, longer than we actually saw it on social media. What was funny to me is that there were police officers that were showing up, but they were black as well. And, to an extent, they was kind of like, all right, well, I'm gonna just let y'all get y'all licks in. I'm gonna let y'all throw a few more punches. They didn't use no aggressive force. They didn't pull out no batons. All these people jumping on this black man, they like, enough is enough. So we gonna let y'all get a few more hits in and then we'll break up the fight. Well, when push came to shove, the man swung the chair. That's when the police had to be like, all right. And they came in and they broke up the fight. He got put in handcuffs. He went a little bit too far. Uncle Chair, that's what we calling him, but his name we found out is Reggie. So let's just call him Uncle Reggie. Everybody got an Uncle Reggie. I got an Uncle Reggie. Every family has a Reggie. Reggie came in, he did the thing. A lot of people have memes about those chairs on social media. Black people were rejoicing. I saw this early in the morning, this video, and I was like, oh my, oh my, oh my gosh, what is happening? You normally see people just recording it. And I think that a lot of people record and they don't jump in because typically you see a lot of like white police officers. So people are scared if they jump in and they try to help. Yeah, there's more of them than the police officers, but police officers have, weapons. So this fight was different because it was by the riverfront. In speaking of the river, there's all kinds of different angles of this fight. A lot happened. It was a long day. So since then, at the press conference, they have arrested 3 people. They've charged them with third-degree assault. Y'all tell me if y'all would have jumped into the fight, because I want to know. Now, my last and final thoughts on this. I don't condone violence, but in this instance, like, it was we are family, baby. Okay. I got all my brothers, sisters, cousins, my cousin's baby daddy's mama's cousin's best friend's girlfriend with me. Everybody showed up, and that is what I appreciated. Like, we didn't start it, but we will finish it. And it really doesn't even have to be about race. It don't have to be a race war. Nobody wants that to happen. But the man was doing his job. He came to do his job and asked them to move their boat. They started the fight, and now the fight is ended, and it didn't end in their favor. And so for that, it was a breath of fresh air to see a different outcome for a change, and I'm here for it. I'm sure the story will go on and on and on for days, just like the submarine story went. But I had to come and share with y'all and let y'all know my thoughts and the actual details as to what happened in this Alabama brawl. Lord, come by Alabama. Now, moving right along, what else is going on in the media? Let's talk about Neo. So, according to Fox News, it says Neo calls out parents who allow kids to undergo gender transitions. So, in the interview, he said, no, I would not be okay with that. If one of my sons came up to me and was like, hey, I think I'm a girl, I want to be a girl, or I want to go through a transition, he's like, no, I would not allow that. And they're too young to make that type of like decision anyway, life-changing decision. So after he said that, then his publicist comes out and she basically releases a written statement saying that he apologizes and he takes back everything he said, blah, 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 blah. Stuff that you know was written by a publicist. So then Neo was like, no, excuse me, I'm speaking. I'm going to get on Instagram and I'm going to do a live video so y'all can hear it. And it is me. This is not AI. This is the Neo saying, I said what I said and I meant what I said. He was like, no, I have an opinion, and like the world is not going to cancel me for my opinion. And if the world is going to cancel me, then maybe there's not meant to be like a Neo influencer in this world, and I'm good with it. Because he was like, for a child to make a life-changing decision at 5, at 7, at 10, at 12, they're not equipped or like mature enough to even be able to do that. So as a parent, I'm entitled to my opinion in how I choose to raise my 5 sons and 2 daughters. And I just don't agree with it. And that's my opinion. And I can have that opinion and I stand on it. And that is just me. Now you raise your kids the way you want to raise them. And I raise my kids the way I want to raise them. Period. Yeah, I was clapping for Neo, because I feel as though with certain topics, people are just waiting to cancel somebody because you want them to go along with whatever the majority is saying. I don't necessarily agree with that. I mean, he is a parent and you can choose to raise your kids however you want. I'm a parent. I choose to raise my kids how I want. And so I would hate to be bashed on social media because somebody says that I should think differently, especially if it's a life-changing decision. So there's a lot of people that they raise their kids to be Catholic or Muslim or Christian or atheist or whatever their religion is. Those are like life-changing decisions, shape your morals and values, who you want to be and who you worship in life, and how you present yourself to the public. Nobody bashes them, but people bash you on issues such as like gender identity. Well, that's also a life-changing decision. So if you give people the respect to like raise their children under whatever religion they choose, then give them the same respect for other life-changing decisions as well. I just think that this culture is so quick to cancel, and sheesh, like he got asked a question about his kids. He said no. He said what he said. All right. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that topic. Moving right along, teen mom news. I absolutely Love, 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 love Teen Mom. I also follow them on social media. So, something that I saw posted on social media recently, and it just gave me so much life, was about Caitlin and Tyler. So Caitlin and Tyler are the couple on Teen Mom, which they started all the way on 16 and Pregnant, like a million years ago. They had their daughter Carly, and they gave Carly up for adoption. And because they weren't in a good position in their lives at that time, it was just a toxic environment, and they wouldn't have been able to raise their daughter in like a healthy environment like they would have wanted to. But since then, we followed their story as far as them having an open adoption, and then they've also had, I believe, 3 other kids since then. So Tyler pretty much looks the same. He looks a little bit more mature, but Caitlin, she still looks the same in the face for the most part. But just like anyone else that's a mother that started at 16 years old, like your body changes after having 4 kids. So somebody came for Caitlin. They came for Caitlin, and Tyler clapped back, y'all. So let me read what they said to Caitlin. They said, at Caitlin, girl, get on that treadmill, because if you think your lifestyle will always sink, you're sadly mistaken. One day he will look at you and will outgrow you. You're on 2 different paths. I hope you remember this message. Wake up and get healthier. So then Tyler gets mad, and Tyler comes back like all women want their boyfriends, significant others, or husbands to come back and like root for them. Listen to Tyler's response. So Tyler says, whoa, hold up. Absolutely not. She doesn't need a dang treadmill for her body to be desirable to me or for our lives to be in sync. Are you for real right now? That woman's body has brought 4 of my beautiful children into this world. That body has been with me through everything. That body has fought through hell and back to be the woman and wife she is today. That body has held and nurtured my children. That body has even held me like a baby at times when I was at my breaking point. So don't you dare tell my wife what she needs to do with her body so I don't outgrow her. We don't outgrow each other. We grow with each other. Through every high and every low, her body is perfect to me, and that's all that matters. Yeah, his post was longer than that, but that was the gist of it. And I was like, oh, bravo. Tyler could not have done it any better. If you know their story, they've been through a lot of mental health issues as well. They fought to be the people they are today. So when people are looking at them from the outside looking in, they're judging them based off of vanity and reasons that don't even coincide with their full story. Like, he looks at her from the inside out. And I believe that's how you should look at the person that you love, the person that you're with, the person that you're committed to. He sees that she's beautiful regardless. And obviously, they got 4 kids, and their kids are young. They had to do a little something to get a little something in there. I'm just saying. So go somewhere with that. Moving right along. Last but definitely not least, I want to reflect back on last week's episode. So if you didn't see last week's pod episode, it was episode 24 titled Healing is Hard. First of all, I want to say thank you, and thank you again to everybody that tuned in, that liked it, that shared it, that listened to it, that sent it to their friends, that messaged me about it, that commented, that talked to me about it, whether you called me or text me. Y'all, it was like an outpouring of love, and I appreciated every second of it. The episode was titled Healing is Hard. It was a very deep and transparent episode, and it was hard for me to decide to do, but I'm glad that I did it because it was overwhelmingly good to get all of that feedback and know that like I'm not alone in the way that I feel, to know that other people are going through the same thing, and by me sharing my story and how I'm journeying through, how that motivated them and encouraged them as well, and kind of just giving me like their feedback and different things that they do on their healing journey, and just to have good productive conversation. And I thought that it was just amazing, and shout out to my husband for getting me through that episode. He was definitely a helping hand. He was a huge encouragement throughout that entire episode. I don't know if I could have done it without him, and I just sincerely appreciated it. So thank you. And if you haven't watched it, you should definitely go back and watch it. It's a listening episode. It's audio only, but it's definitely worth the listen. So thank you guys for that one. Now, moving right along and just to our like quick wrap ups. I only have two quick announcements, y'all. So the first one is in streaming news. The Shy on Showtime is now back. New episodes every Friday, I believe. This is season 6. Yeah, the first episode, people was already like getting popped. Like it's gonna be definitely a darker season, but it seems to be good thus far. So that I'm excited about, and I will keep you guys updated on that. So if you are a avid watcher or fan of The Shy, then definitely tune into that. And last but certainly not least, I had to try to keep it holy, okay, to end out my quick wrap ups. Yeah, the reunion tour. I don't know if y'all heard about it, but it is coming to a city near you. For me, it is coming to Kansas City. I believe it is on October 29th, and I am here for it. The reunion tour is about to be a gospel club, basically. Like it's about to be popping. Okay, Jesus is popping, as little as not Little Wayne, Country Wayne would say. Jesus is popping, y'all. Kirk Franklin is coming, and he's bringing God's property, and he's bringing the family. Um, Let me see, Tamala Mann and David Mann, the Clark sisters, Ty Tribbett, Israel Houghton. Like, there's gonna be so many people. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is my childhood and like early, like young adulthood, like all wrapped in one. Like, this is going to be amazing. Like, I feel like I'm gonna know every song. We're gonna be in the arena. Half the time it's gonna feel like, it's a party. Like, do you want a revolution? Like, you don't know which part of Kirk Franklin you're gonna get, because he's bringing God's property and he's bringing the family with him. Yeah, I'm so excited. Like, y'all, I think I'm more excited about this than I was about my first Beyonce concert I went to, because all of them in one place at one time, like, I'm in there. I'm there. Okay. The tickets are actually a good price too. I can't wait. Yeah, if y'all were a fan of any of them, you don't want to miss this. I feel like everybody and their mama and everybody that's ever been to church a day in their life and enjoyed the music, y'all need to be there, because it's about to be off the chain. I'm aging myself, but I'm excited. Yeah, I'm super excited. So let me know if y'all getting y'all tickets, and if y'all going to. I'll be there. I'll come back and give y'all a recap of how it was, but it's gonna be amazing. So I ain't tripping. All right. Now, of course, I end out every show with a quote of the day. And so for today's quote of the day is from the author is Brene Brown. I've referenced her on here before. The quote is, talk to yourself like you would talk to someone you love. All right, I'm going to repeat that one more time. Talk to yourself like you would talk to someone you love. Yeah, I thought that was perfect, because sometimes we need a reminder. Sometimes other people ain't got to be hard on us, because we're already hard on ourselves, and we like to criticize ourselves and judge ourselves. And you know what? Sometimes, people say, talk to me nice. You got to talk to yourself nice and tell yourself that you love yourself. Talk to yourself gentle. Treat yourself like how you want others to treat you. All right. And then it won't even matter how other people treat you. So whatever you tell me, it's going to roll off if it ain't in line with how I feel about me, because that's the main thing that matters. How do you feel about yourself? All right. Y'all, this has been another great episode of Excuse Me, I'm Speaking. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Whew, this was my first video episode. I will definitely be back for another Please send me your comments, your questions, your feedback, everything, and even topic requests to Instagram. Follow me on Instagram at SheIsTwinkle1. Send me a DM or comment on a picture. And until next time, I love you all. Bye-bye.